All right, it's about that time. We're just 2.5 hours away from the first NFL draft pick of the season, and the Buffalo Bills are heading into it with a brand new head coach. The Two on Your Side sports team will be watching it all closely from Orchard Park, as you can expect, and that's where we find our NFL insider Vic Carucci live at 5. Vic, I believe the Bills have 7 selections in this draft, so what position do you think that they want to draft for first?
Yeah, I think, and that's such an interesting conversation. My sense is that they go defense. It is where they really need the most help, A, and B, this is where the biggest change is occurring on this football team, shifting from what had been a 4-3 base defense to this 3-4 scheme, new defensive coordinator with Jim Leonhard. So I think they want to start assembling the pieces for that in a big way in this draft.
You talked about the new defensive coordinator. We're going to see a different type of player, maybe. What kind of scheme do they want to plan for?
Yeah, so in the 3-4, which basically means 3 defensive linemen, 4 linebackers as a base. I mean, every team adjusts from that. But you sort of need a big, stout guy in the middle, and that could be something they do. A guy named Caden McDonald from Ohio State, for instance, could be available there at 26 for them to pick and be that stout middle person. And then edge rushers, and they've got some, but I think they could try to enhance that. But linebackers, though, part of that 4-man group behind them, this team's really thin at that spot right now. So a guy named Malachi Lawrence from Central Florida could be someone they could also think about, because linebacker is a definite need there.
It's going to be an interesting night for sure, Vic, and I know this is not your first time. Many times you've sat through this, but what is the likelihood of the Bills trading up, and do you foresee any shockers tonight?
Well, I would be shocked, actually, Claudine, if they traded up, but I would definitely not be surprised if they chose to trade down. And right now they don't have a second-round pick. They had given that up to acquire DJ Moore from Chicago. So now what I think they would certainly seriously contemplate, because they're sitting at 26 and may not see a true value of a first-round pick at that spot, move down to the second round, make that pick tomorrow along with the third rounder they have, and then get a player at maybe one of the positions we mentioned, D-line, linebacker, maybe even wide receiver, but do that and feel that they've got a true second-round value, as opposed to reaching for a player and pulling that player into the bottom of the first round.
And you know, when you talk to the fans, the first thing you hear from many people is wide receiver. Do you think that is going to happen earlier or later in the draft?
Well, it should be on the table, in my humble opinion. I mean, I know defense could be argued as a more crying need, but I still think they could get better at the receiver position. But there has to be a conviction that a guy fills that role for them. There's a name of a player, Casey Concepcion. You've probably heard this kicked around, from Texas A&M, and he's expected to be kind of available toward that latter end. Very fast guy, good route runner. But my sense is that, yes, somewhere along the line they do draft a receiver.
Vic Carucci, as always, thank you so much for your insight. You're there, you're in the room, and we know that we can follow you and find out what's happening. Thanks so much.